Hello, everyone. You are welcome to another episode of my online mathematics class. Today, we are still going to be solving question on quadratic equation, and we are going to stick with what the examiner wants us to do. And from this question, we are told to use completing the square method. And remember what I told you from the last class. I said you must go with what the examiner wants you to do. If the examiner said use completing the square method, you must not use another method. So, but in a situation whereby the examiner did not specify the method to use, then you can now use any method of your choice. So the best is always for you to know all the methods of solving completing the square method, because you never can say the area the examiner is going to attack you from. Now, we are given a question. 2x squared minus 11x is equal to 40. And we are told to use completing the square method. Of course, we know that whenever we are using completing the square method, the coefficient of any variable that is used, the coefficient of x squared here, must be 1. But in this particular question, the coefficient given to us, the coefficient of x squared here is 2. So we need to change it to 1. How can we change it to 1? So the first step now is to divide through by these 2 so that the coefficient of this x squared must be 1. If we do that, that means we are going to have divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. 2 we cancel. That means we will be left with x squared. This one, 11 cannot go in 2. It will give us decimal. So we are going to leave our answer like that. We have 11 all over 2x is now equal to 2 here is 1, 2 here is 20. We have 20 here. So from here, the next thing we are going to do now is to consider the coefficient of x. If we consider the coefficient of x, we have minus 11 all over 2. Divide it by 2. When you divide it by 2, you have something like this. Of course, we cannot divide like this, so we have minus 11 all over 2 times 1 all over 2. And that will give us minus 11 all over 4. Then, the next step, square the answer. When you square the answer, you have this. Of course, you don't need to get a value for the answer. What we are going to do, the next step we are going to consider now is to add this squared value to both sides of the equation, left hand side and the right hand side. If you do so, we are going to have x squared minus 11 all over 2x, then plus minus 11 all over 4 square is now equal to 20 plus minus 11 all over 4 square. For the left hand side of the equation, we are going to consider the squared value as in x squared and this minus 11 all over 4 squared. So you pick one of them. If you do so, you will have x minus 11 all over 4 square is now equal to, then we are going to simplify this side of the equation. If you do so, you have 20. This one will give us plus 121 all over 16. Then for now, we are going to ignore this for now and try to get a single answer for the right hand side of the equation. If you do that, you find the LCM. The LCM of 1 and 16 is 16. 1 in 16 is 16. 16 times 20 is 320. You have 320 plus 16 in 16 is 1 times 1 to 1. We have 121. So here now we'll be left with x minus 11 all over 4 square is now equal to 441 all over 16. So the next thing, the next step we are going to consider is to remove this square value. And for us to remove the square, that means we are going to find the square root of it. And when you find the square root of it, the square and the square will surely remove the square root. That means here now will be left with x minus 11 all over 4 is now equal to the square root of 441 all over 16. And whenever you find the square root of any number, the answer must always have plus or minus at the back. That means here we are going to have x minus 11 all over 4 is now equal to plus or minus 21 all over 4. So from here, we can now move this constant to the other side. If you do so, you will have x is now equal to 11 all over 4 plus or minus 21 all over 4. So from here, we can now collect like terms. If we collect like terms there, from here, we can now solve it by getting two answers. We have to first consider the plus sign here. We use that one. Then we can now use the minus sign. If we use the plus, we have your x now will now be 11 all over 4 plus 21 all over 4. Or the next one, we are going to make use of the negative sign. 11 all over 4 minus 21 all over 4. So from here, we can now find the LCM of the denominator. If you do that, you have your x now will now be, the LCM here is 4. Or the LCM here too is 4. 4 in 4 will give us 1. Times 11, we have 11. Plus 4, 20, okay, 4 in 4 will give us 1. Times 21, we have 21. This one will give us 11 minus 21. That will now give us 11 plus this will give us 32 all over 4. Or minus 10 all over 4. Of course, we can get a straight answer for this. Why we can reduce this to the lowest term. 2 here is 5, 2 here is 2. 4 here is 1, 4 here is 8. So our x now will now be 8 or minus 5 all over 2. We have come to the end of this particular solution. In our next episode, we are going to take it up from here. God bless.